Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This bill returns responsibility and the power to take care of kids to their parents. This past summer, we came here and we removed the statewide mandate to wear masks. What we're doing here today is we're removing governmental control over that decision and putting it again to the most local level, which is their parents. I've had literally hundreds of constituents contact me, many of them taking a day off of work and coming to Frankfort to meet their representative. And they're pleading for us to allow them to make the best decisions for their kids. Their kids don't belong to the Republic. Their kids belong to them. They want to make the best decision. I trust parents. My job is to represent my constituents. And there is no doubt in my mind, no doubt, that the overwhelming number of people who live in Jefferson 33, in Oldham 33, and in Shelby 33 want me to vote for House Bill 51. There's just no doubt in my mind that they want to end these mask mandates. Let me address one issue that has come up during this debate, and that is the issue of local control. Local control is an issue that I agree with as a presumption. But as in most areas of the law, presumptions are often rebutted by other more important considerations. Here, I believe, and my constituents believe, the more important consideration is the ability of the parent to make their own decision. If the local decision makers, and that's especially true when the local decision makers are far out of line with what the science requires and what reason would dictate. We're talking about masks here, but let me bring up one other point to make the point about one of the 4 school districts that I represent. JCPS is still quarantining for 10 days. Months ago, the CDC and the Kentucky Department of Education said that we should go away from the 10-day quarantine rule and go to 5 days. That's important because it lets more teachers and students get back into the classrooms. My superintendent in JCPS made a recommendation to our board to go to the 5-day quarantine rule, and the board rejected that, not following the science, but following fear and a political agenda. When the local decision makers are out of line, it is incumbent, it is required for this body, the premier policymaking body in the Commonwealth, to step in. And let me remind our colleagues that last year, numerous school districts, including my own, would not have went back to in-person schooling if it weren't for what we did in following the lady from Whitley. They wouldn't have went back to school. There was all of this, it's going to cause destruction. It's going to be harm everywhere. We went ahead and we required them to go back to school, and our kids at least caught up a little bit. Had we allowed the others, the local control folks who are making bad decisions to continue, I'm not sure my kids at JCPS would be in school today. Thank God for this legislature. That's what my parents are telling me. And to the parade of horribles that this bill will harm the students and the teachers all across the Commonwealth, let me ask this question. Most school districts in Kentucky and most school districts in the country have already removed their mask mandates. We are not setting the standard here. We're not on the cusp of something that's innovative. The overwhelming majority have already removed their mask mandates. And contrary to what my friends from Jefferson say, I don't know of any evidence, and surely it would be all over CNN and the Courier Journal if it were true. I don't know of any evidence that suggests that when you remove the mask mandates, that our kids are harmed by that, or our parents or teachers are harmed by that. So the parade of horribles that they throw out on us, like they did last year, are unfounded by the data. This isn't a guess I'm making. This is what the data suggests. So in conclusion, let me say this. I was elected to stand at this desk on behalf of the people that elect me, on behalf of the people of Jefferson and Oldham and Shelby County. And I'm standing at this desk on their behalf, and I'm voting against or for House Bill 51 and against the right to keep our kids in masks indefinitely. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.